All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NAKD, Naked Brand Group. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we dive into this chart, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware that I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys towards the end of this video. We're going to look at its chart and everything that attracted me to it. But if you guys don't have this one already on your watch list, I definitely encourage you guys to stay tuned because you want to have this one on your radar moving forward. Now, if you want to know which ticker symbols I'm watching live before I share them on any other platform, you can go ahead and join me on Patreon. The link is down below in the description. So here we are. NAKD stock, Naked Brand Group, has had a run, right? Last week all the way up to 149. Started to dip, and it's slightly consolidating at slightly above $1 and also in tug-of-war zone right now. I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of that. We are in tug-of-war zone. So let's zoom on in and see our support. So our support is 107, 1 cent difference from the current price at 106. So the bulls definitely need to break through that to get back into bullish territory. We are slightly in bearish territory. So what is our support? Well, based off the last hours of the day, 105. If that gets broken through, the next one would be down here at 104. And then I would possibly look down here at 103. So everything's kind of close here by 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents. And even though it's pretty narrow and very close and not too broad, you want to watch the stock's behavior very closely. Now, for those of you that feel like these support levels are a little too close and too narrow, the first point I would look at is right there at 105, and the next one would be down here at literally $1. I would just round that down. It says 101. I would just look at the $1 mark to see if the bears try to tear this one down to newer lows or if the bulls can reappear, because that is the lowest point that this has hit in the downward direction. And even as this is leveled off, that's the lowest point that we've seen. So $1 would be the next support level to watch. Now, the highest point reached in this sideways movement was hit today, and that is up here at 113. The bulls need to break through that point to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. So I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of that. 113 needs to be broken through, turn into a support so that the bulls can continue to work their way upwards to newer highs. And by doing so and breaking through this resistance, they have broken through the 50-day moving average, getting them back into bullish territory and possibly on their way to continuing momentum to hit newer highs. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned till the end because I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys that if you don't have it on your watch list already, you definitely want to stay tuned on in. And I encourage you guys to check it out so you don't miss out on this one or overlook it, and add it over to your watch list. So for everyone that has made it to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is one that got hit pretty hard last week. It went down 50%. Now, it had to do with speculation, and it also had to do with news that really drove this stock down. We're going to look at it in just a moment. It's not rocket companies, but before we jump into that, I want to go ahead and share with you guys the tweet of the day. I tweeted this last night, and it says, "There is no better time than now to be watching and aware of which stocks are pulling back with upside potential." Okay? And I mean that. This is the time to be watching stocks and watching them closely because we want to watch them bottom out or hit oversold area. Watch it closely to kind of pull right back up. And if it possibly goes back into oversold area, we know what it's capable of, what's the margin. And then also we need to be aware how the overall market is doing. And if it's correlating, then it's possibly something that can actually bounce back up, right? With the possibility that this is a correction and not a crash. if it's a crash, it could take months, it could take years to hit the bottom, and then it can start months and years to bring itself back up. So I've been stating it. Are we in a market crash or correction? I hope that we're in a correction and not in a crash, because a correction is healthy to then allow more investors to get back in. Institutional investors are definitely, upping their positions in certain stocks, and then we can start to see the market start to rise up again. So this is the time to be watching and aware of different stocks and doing your due diligence. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you definitely want to try to understand the company, which is another tweet that I talked about several days ago, back to the time where I stated the 2 ways you know you are in a stock you understand, which is believing in the company's mission and outlook, and you plan on holding more than just a day or even a month, possibly even a year, with a goal, right? An end goal for your initial investment to grow. So you do want to understand these stocks. Now, if you want to know live updates on what ticker symbols I'm watching, you can join us on over at the Patreon. The link is down below in the description. So let's jump into this stock. So this is a stock that I talked about back on the 23rd, right? 23rd of February. That was last Tuesday. Now, it's ticker symbol WKHS, Workhorse Group Inc. A lot of people lost hope on this one, and we were catching it as it was falling, right? It was around the $15 mark, $16 mark, and I stated, the RSI is still showing room here on the 1 day. It can possibly continue to go lower. It certainly did that, and it hit lows here of 12.30 and some change, and it started to pull back up with some strength, hitting $20 and some change, and it's back down to $17. Now, the $20 jump was because of news on the company and the potential, which was pretty positive for it, and quickly it's been pulling down because investor sentiment is pretty negative, especially after it being up here in the 40s and just falling towards the 30s and then collapsing 50% in just 1 day. So I understand how many investors are feeling, especially the ones that have been in it way before the run and then also as it was running. But this has potential, especially because the USPS contract is not the only contract that WKHS has. Now, it's fighting there and it's in that area. It could pull down a little bit more. And if it pulls down more, it's even better of an opportunity to watch, because a reversal is bound to happen with this one, especially with everything that I talked about in this video. And I definitely stated it back here, as we could see, on the 23rd. And I was talking about all the things that were going on and how the USPS contract is a big portion of an opportunity, but it's not the only market share that Workhorse was going to be able to obtain. They already have contracts with FedEx. They have contract with UPS. Those are big companies, and also others, right? As the article state, and ARK Invest has been loading up on this dip. Now, they have been shaving a little bit of their position here and there, but they loaded up a tremendous amount. I mean, what they've been shaving off is literally nowhere near 20% or 10% of the vast amount of shares that they bought as this dipped 50%. And they own close to 2 to 3 million shares, if I'm not mistaken. That states a bold statement that they were buying up here, they were buying on the way down, they were buying on the way up, and they bought the dip. So we've been watching this one since the 23rd. It definitely hit a low here of $12 and some change. It was fighting between $14 and $15 for a little bit, because when you go back to the 30-minute, you could see it. And it was just rising as those numbers kept getting hit. So it kept going down to a new low, hitting a newer high, a new low, a new high, and now it's consolidating, and it's already building momentum again. Now, is this going to run back up to 30 or up to 40 in no time? Of course not. It's going to take time, investor sentiment, and all these different indicators definitely have a lot more room to go either on the downside or get closer to the upside to then pull back down. So the overall market is playing a big effect here on the overall stocks. So if the market falls, yeah, this could fall a little bit more down. We saw how low it could go, $12. But there's so much room here based off of the fundamentals and potential of this company that Workhorse, yeah, lost one contract, but it didn't lose its complete business. And that's what I was telling every single investor. I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold any positions on WKHS or any ticker symbol I talk about, but I am here to enlighten you guys. And once again, if you guys want to know live updates on what ticker symbols I'm watching, I got 10 plus ticker symbols already that we have on our watch list over at the Patreon. You can click on the link down below and join us over at the Patreon. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.